On this edition of City Focus, the city and county hold their 9/11 ceremony. The Valdosta Police Department hosts their Cinema for a Cause event to raise money for the Shop with a Cop program. Find out how you can attend the Firefighters Ball. And we have Aaron Strickland from KLVB in studio to discuss the organization's October events. These stories and more on this edition of City Focus. Welcome to City Focus. I'm Marcus McConico, the media coordinator for the City of Valdosta. This is the 19th episode of City Focus in 2018. City Focus is your source for what's happening within your government. These are the most important topics that are happening in the city. On September 11th, city and county first responders and elected officials gathered on the old courthouse lawn to honor the lives that were lost on that date 17 years ago.
I want to remind everyone is to remember, never forget what happened, continue to have programs, continue to have events, so we can continue to talk about it, because once we stop talking about it, we start remembering and we forget about it.
Chief Broom said we should use these type of ceremonies to unite everyone across the country, like after the events of that fateful day. At one point during the ceremony, Chief asked the crowd to join hands to display their unity.
I think in the end it really shows what happened after 9/11. 9/11 is where we've seen a spirit of unity where everyone came together, and that's what today shows as well. The city and county came together to pay respect for 9/11, and that's what at the end 9/11 was about, was uniting everyone together.
Broom, just like everyone, has a story of where they were and how they felt during the events in 2001.
As a first responder, I'm appreciative of it because although firefighters, police officers, EMS don't want to admit it, we still like to be appreciated by the community. And this is a token of appreciation to show you as a firefighter that thank you for what you do. So it means a lot. And I still remember what happened on 9/11, although I wasn't working, but I remember I worked the next day. And when I got that first call to a high-rise, all I could think about was what was the firefighters thinking about when they were responding to that call. So it affects us every day, and so programs like this allows us to really show that we appreciate it for the danger stops that we do.
For more information, contact the Valdosta Fire Department. Wild Adventures, a major economic engine in Valdosta, announced a major addition and something for the kids in the community.
Every child from 3 to 5 gets free admission to Wild Adventures. They simply register online. It's a very simple process, takes 5 minutes. Register your child, then you bring them out to the park. They get their picture taken just like a regular season pass, and they get their very own season pass. And then the second announcement that we made is a great investment in the park. We are going to be doing a construction project on 3 acres within the park. And that area is going to become a new kids area with 6 rides. And at the center of it will be an alligator exhibit with dozens of alligators in it, where our guests will be able to feed alligators. They'll be able to also dare to cross the Gator Crossing rope bridge, which is a rope bridge that swings a little bit, and families of kids of all ages can cross that bridge, and it'll bring you really close to the gators.
Wild Adventures brings many people to the Valdosta community and provides jobs to many in our area. Now they're adding this addition at the main entrance.
Well, every time Wild Adventures makes an investment in the park, it's an investment in this community. It creates jobs, whether they be construction jobs or whether we need new ride attendants or new zoo ops employees. And by the way, Wild Adventures is always hiring. A lot of people think that we're a seasonal business, but we are constantly hiring both for full-time year-round positions and seasonal positions.
For more information, contact Wild Adventures at 229-219-7080.
The Valdosta Police Department is again teaming up with the Georgia Theater Company for Cinema for a Cause. They take, I believe, 100% of their ticket sales and concession sales on a certain day out of the year, and they donate it to 3 charities, and we're one of the 3 charities this year.
The funds received by VPD will be from the theater and will aid both the Shop with a Cop program and the Police Santa event.
Number one, we love doing it. It's one of the funnest things. This, to me, the Shop with a Cop and the Police Santa are the 2 programs that I feel are just our flagship programs here at the Valdosta Police Department. You got to build community relations. You got to get these children to start trusting the police officers. What could make a child more in tune with a police officer than to see a police officer come up and hand you a toy? We're just trying to build bridges and let these children know we're on your side, we're out there to protect you. We're not here to do anything other than that.
The Valdosta Police Department encourages citizens to enjoy a movie at the theater while making donations to help those in need.
September 23rd, go see a movie over at the theater here in Valdosta. That's all you got to do. It's that simple. They're going to take that money and they're going to split it up between 3 charities, and like I said, we're one of them. And when you break that down, a full day's worth of cinema purchases and concession purchases, it goes a long way in helping our children.
To learn more about Shop with a Cop or Police Santa, contact the Valdosta Police Department at 229-242-2606.
Keep Lounge Valdosta Beautiful has several events in the month of October to help keep our community clean. And we have Aaron Strickland here to tell us all about it. Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Hey, glad to be here.
For those who are unaware what kind of work KLVB does in the community, what do you guys do?
Marcus, I tell you, the question is more like, what do we not do? If it's litter related, recycling related, we try to be involved with it. Beginning in January, we head up the Christmas tree recycling event called Bring One for the Chipper. We partner with the city on the Arbor Day event. We have a spring electronics recycling event. We celebrate and recognize Earth Day on April 22nd. Also in April is our Great American Cleanup that we have. It's kind of all sorts of different cleanup events go on during that day. The bulk amnesty event that the city of Valdosta does is a component of the Great American Cleanup, as well as our Make a Difference Day event, which is held in the fall. And we also do a litter index, which is a visual litter survey every summer.
Gotcha.
And in the fall, we have some of our events that we have coming up, actually. Got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Okay. Now, with all of these events, you really rely on the help of volunteers. How important are those volunteers to KLVB?
Let me put it to you this way. If we didn't have those volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do anything, because I am a staff of one
Yes.
with one intern.
Yeah.
Very great intern, Sage Stokes. If you ever run into Sage Stokes, best intern you'll ever see. Model VSU student.
Okay. Now, you have events in October, the Rivers Alive cleanup, and what's the other one? When are they? What are they? Tell us about those events in October.
Before I talk about those, let me just talk just a little bit more on volunteers.
Okay.
We rely so heavily on those. Literally, nothing would get done. Over the course of the last 18 years that I've been with Keep Lounge Valdosta Beautiful, we've had 13,336 of those major event volunteers come out and help us out.
Huge number.
Yeah, we'll have anywhere from 20 to 200 volunteers out for any given event. It just depends on, to me, I don't gauge an event on whether it's successful or not by by how many volunteers come out. I gauge it as to whether or not we had enough volunteers show up to get the work that we had done.
Gotcha.
So, I don't say, well, we had 100 volunteers, so the event is a success. We might have only had 75 volunteers, but we got all of our work done, therefore, I consider that to be a success. Speaking of volunteers, we need a lot of those for these events that we have coming up that you alluded to. On Saturday, October 13th, we have our Rivers Alive river cleanup event.
Okay.
On Saturday, October 27th, our Make a Difference Day event, which again, the City of Valdosta Bulk Amnesty Day is a component of that. We'll also be working with Lowndes County for a cleanup project with them, as well as the City of Hayhira.
Okay.
We try to incorporate as many of those partners as possible. Me personally, I think that just allows us to get more done.
Gotcha.
I don't care who gets credit as long as the projects and the work gets done. And in addition, we have our fall electronics recycling event coming up on Saturday, November 17th. Now the Rivers Alive event and the Make a Difference Day events, both of those go from 8:30 until noon. We have multiple sites for those.
Gotcha.
With there being multiple sites, what we ask volunteers to do is either go to our website, KLVB, that stands for Keep Lowndes Valdosta Beautiful.net. They can sign up online there, also visit our Facebook page, or they can call our office at 229-671-3698. What we want them to do is contact us either by either of those avenues to pre-register for the event, to get signed up.
Gotcha.
And then about a week prior to the event, we look at the number of volunteers that we have signed up, the types of volunteers that we have signed up, whether it be guys or gals. We then look at the projects that we have, put them at the site where they would be most useful at, and then we send them site-specific information. For me, that's kind of a tried and true method. Used to, we would advertise each individual site that we had going on, then I would have 200 volunteers show up at a site that I only needed 10 volunteers at.
Gotcha.
This method here just allows us to place volunteers where they are most needed. And the same is for Rivers Alive and Make a Difference Day. We have multiple cleanup sites, and this, by them calling in or signing up online, sending us an email, they can email us at astrickland@valdostacity.com or at klvbintern@valdostacity.com.
Gotcha.
They can contact us that way as well. Again, those events, please pre-register for those. 8:30 until noon on those days. You're done by noon. You have the rest of your weekend to enjoy.
Yes.
And you've spent just a few hours, giving a little bit back to your community. It's also a good way for student organizations to get community service hours that they need.
Yes.
And our fall electronics recycling event on Saturday, November 17th will be held at Mathis Auditorium. I can go ahead and give everyone the location of that event, since that event is open to the public. And I'm not only looking for volunteers, we're also looking for citizens. They don't have to be just City of Valdosta citizens, they can be Lowndes County citizens, anywhere in Lowndes County. Actually, if you're watching this, whether you're in Lowndes County or not, and you have some electronics you would like to recycle, please bring them. And when I mention electronics, I'm not talking about refrigerators or toaster ovens or microwaves. Anything with a cord is electrical. It's not necessarily electronics. So we're looking for those electronic items such as computers, laptops, printers, copiers, fax machines, cell phones, cables, chargers, those sorts of things that folks are welcome to drop off to us at Mathis Auditorium. Our volunteers out there will just be helping folks unload their cars.
Gotcha.
So you don't even have to get out of your vehicle. Just come by and drop your stuff off. We'll have volunteers to help you unload. And to date, just through the electronics recycling, we've collected over nearly 315 tons of electronics.
Wow.
Now let's look at that. Let's create a visual in our minds just from that one event. 315 tons, if you divide that out by, say, 53-foot semi-tractor trailers, you'd be looking at about 15 tractor trailers worth of stuff. So if you can imagine 15 tractor trailers lined up next to each other, stacked up on top of each other. Wow. That's how much landfill space that we have saved just through this one event. Well, I say one event. We have a spring electronics recycling
Twice
event.
a year, yeah.
And the fall electronics recycling event. But just through that event, that's how much landfill space that we have saved since we started doing that. I believe we started doing that back in 2006. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty substantial. You know, that is just our organization and just our community. If you think of all of, you know, other Keep Georgia Beautiful, Keep America Beautiful affiliates throughout the state of Georgia and throughout the country that also do electronics recycling events, we have saved tons and tons and tons and just millions of cubic feet of landfill space for things that can't, you know, I'd rather save that space for things that can't be recycled.
Exactly.
Because, you know, let's face it, landfills eventually run out of space. Mm-hmm. We don't want an entire mountain range in our county that's just, you know, closed landfills. Yeah. So to me, it's important to save that space in those landfills for things that can't be recycled. So those are 3 major events we have coming up. Rivers Alive, Saturday, October 13th. Make a Difference Day, Saturday, October 27th, and our electronics event, Saturday, November 17th. That we need volunteers for all those, and those are different ways, you know, that students and community members both can get involved and give a little bit back to our community.
Yep, and you often have plenty of student organizations involved with these. You have sororities and fraternities who come out often, and I mean, even at your awards banquet, you honored some of those people just a couple weeks ago. And,
certainly.
Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about that and those people that come out year after year?
Yeah, I will speak about one of our model fraternities that come out and help us out time and time again. Sigma Nu fraternity, I want to give those guys a shout out. They come out and they come out to several events throughout the year, Make a Difference Day, Rivers Alive. They're also a Adopt a Street participant. That's another program that we have that organizations can get involved with. We have Adopt a Road, which that's our terminology for outside the city limits, and Adopt a Street. Mm-hmm. That's inside the city limits. A group, fraternity, sorority, student organization, business can adopt either a section of a city street or a section of a county road, and they can go out and conduct their own cleanups mm-hmm. when it's convenient for them throughout the year. They don't have to wait just for one of our major events. They can sign up. We can assign them a section of a city street or a county road. They'll get a little sign out there with their name on it, mm-hmm. and they're just responsible for conducting at least 4 cleanups a year. That's a way for them to get involved. Sigma Nu fraternity is also a participant in that program. Mm-hmm. And for the last couple of years, they have won our Student Organization of the Year award that we give out at our awards luncheon every year. And we want to encourage other student organizations to get involved and give those guys a run for their money. Yes. And have a little more competition for that award there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, I want to thank you for coming on the show and telling us about KLVB and the events that we have coming up, and we want to encourage everyone to come out and volunteer and keep our city clean. And we'll be back here on City Focus. During the week of 9/11, members of the Valdosta Fire Department recruit class spent time working on a habitat home called the Freedom Build.
Done it in high school a good bit, a few times in the Marine Corps as well. So to come out here and to continue that, it's a great thing.
The group used this as a way to further build their teamwork, in addition to helping a member of the community.
Anytime you can do anything together, have lunch together, aid in building a house together, anything like that, it builds that team camaraderie, and that's what the fire service is all about.
Ultimately, being able to help someone move into a brand new home is what makes him proudest.
Anytime that you can aid somebody, whether that be helping build a house to let's just say helping them clean up a flower bed if it's your neighbor or something like that. Anytime you can help, I think that's a win for everybody involved.
For more information, contact the Valdosta Fire Department. The city wants to remind citizens against illegal parking in its residential parking overlay district around Valdosta State University's campus.
Parking ordinance for this particular overlay is always in effect. But because we have a new class of students attending Valdosta State starting this fall, we need to make them aware of the ordinance as far as parking in that community that surrounds Valdosta State University.
First-time violators will be given warnings with information about the city's ordinance.
Give them a slight lesson on where they can and cannot park, giving them the information about the ordinance, and then after that, then we would have to enforce the ordinance, which could lead up to fines or impoundment of a vehicle. It's the neighborhoods that surround VSU. So you go all in the area off of Bay Tree, in that area, Georgia Avenue, you have Alden Avenue, you have all of those neighborhoods that surrounded to the west, and then you have those neighborhoods that surround it to the east. And all of them, it's maybe a 10 to 12 block area that is considered the overlay, and that's the area that it will be enforced.
The city wants to protect the homeowners in the area while still respecting the important role that VSU and its students play in the Valdosta community.
We're very appreciative of VSU and that we want to become great community partners as we've always been. But we also have to be there for our citizenry, and for a lot of those people, those neighborhoods are home, so they don't want to have their neighborhood disrupted because now we have a new group of students coming in and they may be parking in areas that they're not allowed to.
For more information, contact Neighborhood Development. The Valdosta Fire Department invites the community to attend the 3rd annual Firefighters Ball on Saturday, October 6th at the Conference Center at 7 p.m. All proceeds are donated locally to the Pink Hills Valdosta chapter. Tickets can be purchased on Everbright for $45, or a table can be purchased for $450. Individual discount tickets are available for firefighters, police officers, and EMS personnel. Please contact Ann Casson at 229-224-7014 or Chief Broom at 229-333-1835 to get your tickets. The Valdosta Youth Council began its 4th year, holding its first meeting of the year for 2018-2019 on September 20th. The group has plans to continue the Georgia Shape Initiative, visit the Sunbelt Expo, while advocating healthy living. They also plan to
declare the officers of the VYC installed for the 2018-2019 year. Our best wishes to you and to your new
and they are excited to get started.
Serving your community, it's still fun and it's good for you to learn about what goes on.
Helping your community is really good, and you should do it more often because it helps everybody.
For more information on the Valdosta Youth Council, follow the City of Valdosta's social media platforms. City parks and open space are key components to a successful community. Green spaces are extremely important, but connecting them throughout the community can make an even bigger impact. Based on the Atlanta Beltline website, the ABI is the most comprehensive transportation and economic development effort ever undertaken in the city of Atlanta, and among the largest, most wide-ranging urban redevelopment programs currently underway in the United States. Once completed, the Atlanta Beltline will include a 22-mile expansion of the Atlanta streetcar, 33-mile of multi-use trails, and 2,000 acres of parks and support affordable workforce housing, economic development, job creation, public health, streetscape, public art, environmental cleanup, and historic preservation, all with an eye towards sustainability. To learn more, check out the Atlanta Beltline on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out our arbor tips on the website and contact Urban Forestry Supervisor Kevin Jenkins at 229-259-3530. Now let's take a look at what's taking place in the city in the coming weeks. September 24th, Greater Lowndes Planning Commission meeting, 5:30 at 325 West Savannah Avenue. September 25th, Lowndes County Board of Health, 7:30 a.m. at 206 South Patterson Street. September 25th, Valdosta Lowndes County Conference Center and Tourism Authority meeting, 8 a.m. in the Executive Conference Room at the Conference Center. October 1st, Valdosta Historic Preservation Commission meeting, 5:30 in the City Hall Annex Multipurpose Room. October 2nd, Valdosta Lowndes County Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, 2:30 in the City Hall Annex Multipurpose Room. October 5th, First Friday in downtown Valdosta. October 8th, Valdosta Tree Commission meeting, 5:15 in the Engineering Conference Room. October 9th, Valdosta City Council Work Session, 5:30 in Council Chambers. October 10th, Valdosta Lowndes County Airport Authority meeting, 8 a.m. at the Airport Conference Room. October 11th, Valdosta City Council meeting, 5:30 in Council Chambers. October 13th, Rivers Alive Cleanup, beginning at 8:30 a.m. To stay informed of what's happening in the city, sign up for the weekly e-news blast at valdostacity.com/public-information. Earlier in the show, we talked with Aaron Strickland from KLVB about cleanup events coming up. This is another way that citizens can show that they love where they live by volunteering for events to help keep our community a nice, clean place to live. This concludes another edition of City Focus. Be sure to visit our website, valdostacity.com. Like us on Facebook, Valdosta City Without Limits. Also like our Valdosta Youth Council page. Follow us on Twitter at City of Valdosta and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Metro 17 Valdosta, to watch City Focus on demand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on City Focus.